Welcome back to episode 4, 5? I don't even know.
5, bro.
5. Wow.
We've done 5 episodes.
Woo. Look out. Hold on to your hats, everybody. No, what does Sam Jackson say? Hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your butts. Yeah,
Okay.
Jurassic Park.
Bro.
Anyway.
Welcome back to another episode. Surviving Gingers. It's been a week. This is the podcast where you get your absolutely unaccredited information on how to parent. Pregnancy.
And marriage advice.
Yeah. We just talk about our life.
Yep.
And take from that what you will. We know nothing.
Nope.
Just trying to survive. As millennials or whatever we're called.
We're millennials?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know. Anyway. It's...
I don't know.
I feel like a Gen X. I don't know. Whatever. That's off topic. Okay. What's been going on this week? I'm exhausted. Pregnancy's kicking my ass. Nothing new and exciting. I don't even remember what week I am.
I think you were 23 last podcast, so you're 24. You're 24 in.
Cool. So I'll be 25 weeks next Monday.
Yeah, man.
Coming up to my glucose test and all that fun shit, but I have nothing new to report except the baby is more active, a lot more active, which is a good sign, but it sucks for my cervix because it's her speed bag. But yeah. And then we also had Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the people who celebrated Mother's Day this past Sunday, as well as us.
Yep. We had a great Mother's Day.
We had a Mother's Day.
We had a Mother's Day.
We had a Mother's Day. It was there. It was May 14th or 13th or whatever day it was, like everybody else. I think it was the 13th. Anyway.
Sure, man.
Busy weekend, all that fun stuff.
Yep. And the van broke down.
Yeah. Ooh, man. I don't know. If we look beat up, it's because we are.
Yeah.
It's because we are. Where should we begin this week? Update. Where would you like to start?
Are we going to go from Sunday? Or was it Saturday? It was Saturday.
Well,
Saturday wasn't too crazy. It was just I went to work and that was fun.
Saturday, yeah. Yes. I always forget about the Saturday because it was a fun convo where you had to go in at like the butt crack of dawn and then like
6:00. So I'm an electrician and I'm doing work downtown, and the work that we're doing is we have to run a cable up and down, basically from the 4th floor all the way up to the 27th floor. It's a high-rise building. It's active. There's people in there. And Saturday's the only day.
A handful of people.
Yeah.
Since COVID. A handful of floors are active.
I think there's 5 floors active now. So 3 floors are by the city. They're doing the LRT station, which is like right out in our backyard eventually. So we got to get the fuck out of here before that thing comes in, because I am not listening to...
I know.
Every 10 minutes.
I know.
Remember the realtor was like, oh, it's going to be great when you have the LRT here because, like, you know, your property value is going to go up. And then remember when we bought?
We still bought it. Like, anyway.
It was great. But we bought before anything else was built. Like, all, like, the Save On and all these grocery stores around here. And I was like, oh, it's going to go up. And then, like, every single year, like, drop it, like, 20 grand. Remember it was, like, 380 at one point. I was like, cool, man.
Property taxes were good, though.
That's true. That's the one benefit. So anyway, I'm in this downtown building, and there's a freight elevator that we have to use to get up and down the floors. And the guy I'm with, my foreman, he had requested...
How well lit are you?
Why?
In terms of lighting. Are you well lit?
No. Am I reflective?
No, it's just you look dark, but I'm also looking at a ring light.
Oh, you're looking at...
So you
no,
look
I'm okay.
really shadowed. Okay. Sorry.
Half my face, but...
Nice.
It's all good.
Okay.
Anyway, so we, my foreman had to put in like a request to use the freight elevator all day. So we're getting into the elevator. Like I got in at 6 o'clock, around like 6:45. I think the other guys were showing up, and we're getting into the elevator. And this guy from Otis, which is an elevator company here, he's in there with his tools, and we're like, "Why are
Otis is everywhere, dear." Anyway.
Are they? Anyway, whatever. So then we were like, "Why are you here?" And he's like, "Oh, I have the elevator booked off until 12 o'clock." And it just shitstorm because they double booked us. Everything was crazy. People were fighting down a security. They were phoning like the building management, and they're like, "Well, you double booked, and this person didn't do this, and this person didn't do that." But what it comes down to is Otis owns the elevator. They don't own the building, but they own the elevator, and they don't care.
And they make boatloads of money.
This guy was definitely making probably like $120 an hour.
Just standing there.
Oh yeah, he's doing maintenance.
Yeah. I work on the weekends.
He just has a cart and he just goes up and down the elevator, just testing the buttons.
I used to do that at soccer tournaments.
For free.
Yeah, I want my money.
So anyway, basically an entire day that we thought we were gonna work turned into like an hour and a half. So it was nice to come home.
Yeah, you didn't miss Everett's soccer game.
But it was kind of
that was nice because we couldn't find his jersey.
Yeah, and we found it, and we thought we watched it. What's he on? What? Oh.
Yeah, he was on like his third game, and it was dirty. Oh well, whatever. He's 4. Yeah, and then we spent all day outside. It was a beautiful day, but it was hot, and the sun just wears you out.
Yeah.
And then we went to your mother's for Mother's Day dinner.
Yes.
Because we had previously discussed having her over Sunday when we're having dinner with my mother. But I thought maybe she would appreciate her own Mother's Day. Yeah. So we went Saturday.
And she did.
She liked it. I'm already tired talking about it.
I know.
I'm fucking wrecked.
She enjoyed it. And she was like, I was like, "Can I cook dinner for you?" And she's like, "Well, I haven't had you at my place in a while, so why don't you come over here?" I was like, "Okay, but like, can I cook dinner for you? Like, what can I do?" Like,
I like to go, like, it's fun to go to your mom's, but like, in reality, it's a lot easier to have it here.
No, I know, for sure, and I've told her that.
But I know it's easier for her to have it there as well. Yeah. So.
And I think I don't think she just wants to be around.
Yeah.
Family. She just wants to see.
She doesn't want the fuss or
her grandchildren. She doesn't care. Like, that's her mother. Like, to her, that's her Mother's Day. Because I think one year she took us somewhere, like Granary Road or somewhere. Like, she like paid for it, and I felt bad because I was like, "This is your Mother's Day," and she's like, "My Mother's Day is to be with you guys. Yeah. Like, I don't care." She's like, "If I have to pay to be around, like to have, well, not."
No, I know.
No, that sounded bad. If I have to pay to be around you guys.
Yeah.
No, like
if only the podcast listeners knew all of the juicy details.
Yeah, man.
Of the family drama.
We
just
are
spit on the mic.
Dude, we are thinking of doing
a shit talk Patreon.
Patreon, is that what's called? Patreon? Yeah. So like we're really debating on it because we're very conservative here, and for the most part.
We don't like to
unless your mom's watching it. Wow. Kaylin swears a lot.
Oh, yeah. My mom found a clip of the podcast. She hasn't heard a whole podcast. Thank God. And she was like, "Wow, Caitlin has a really big potty mouth." And I was like, but like, I'm reserved around company.
I know.
Like, that's why it's shock to you, Mother. Like, you should be
extremely
bothered. You should be I know. And she talked about it for like 10 minutes at soccer. She's said, like, "I found that clip." And I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah. She said that to me. And then she was sitting here and she's like, "She needs to wash her mouth out with soap." She said it to herself. She didn't say it to me because I looked over. You know,
like trauma.
She was like looking.
I never did get my mouth washed out with soap, but it was definitely a threat when I was a child.
That's crazy. One of your brothers did though, right? You watched.
Yes.
Yeah. Ugh. Back in the day, man.
Yeah. The hardened days of the 90s.
This one TikTok.
Bluey's dad isn't talking shit about how rough and tough those years were.
Yeah.
But he says the 80s, so he must be in his 40s.
That's true, yeah.
But, yeah, no, the 90s were no fuck around.
Yeah.
When it came to... Now, I'm the youngest, vastly younger.
Mm-hmm.
So my parents are on the older scale.
Yeah.
Of parenthood. But yeah.
I saw TikTok a couple days ago, and it was a movie or maybe a TV series clip. It's got the dude from the OC, whatever his name is, the main guy, Ryan. It's got him, and he's like an officer, and then there's another guy. I've seen him. I think he's the dude that plays Stranger Things, the guy that gets killed in the first season. Or is it the second season? Bob, whoever plays Bob.
Okay.
With Winona Ryder, like her boyfriend.
Yeah.
They're both cops, and
Sean Atkins.
thank you. So it's him, and then
Atkins? Whatever.
whoever plays Ryan, whatever that guy's name is.
The guy who thought he was so tough and he was like 5'6". Fuck
Yeah,
off.
right.
I hated that show. I can't believe we almost made it through that show, and I was like, no.
Almost made it through? We weren't even done the first season.
We were into the second season.
Were we actually?
I don't know.
Okay.
It was really long. Remember those like fucking seasons were 30 episodes long? Back in them days.
Yeah. That's like Friends, man. That was
yeah.
like 24, 25.
Yeah, now you're lucky if you get 6 on Netflix.
That's true, yeah. Like 10. Like Game of Thrones. Well, I guess they're an hour long, but... Anyway, so I saw this clip on TikTok, and they're both cops, and they go to this kid's door. This kid opens up his door or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, you called the cops because your mom beat you or something like that." And his mom comes to the door, and she's like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "Oh, my mom hit me." And they're like, "What do you mean you hit him?" And she's like, "Well," or the kid's like, "Oh, she hit me with a belt." And they're like, "Okay, can we step outside for a second?" Like to the mom, and like the mom goes outside.
Is this a new age show now?
Oh no!
Like,
It's good. It's
okay.
good. So then brings her outside, and they're like, "Did you hit your son?" And she's like, "Yeah, with a belt." And they're like, "Where did you hit him?" And she's like, "On the butt." And the kid's like, "Yeah, just on the butt." Like, and he's like, "Okay, you didn't hit him on the face or anything like that." And he's like, "No." He's like. Then the cop's like, "Is this the first time you've ever done it?" And she's like, "Yeah, this is the first time I did it." And it's because like he was lying about his grades or something, or skipping school or something like that. And the cop he looks at the kid, and he's like, "You called the police on your mother because she hit you with a belt because you lied to her and you were skipping school." And he's like, "If you call your mother on this again and you skip school," he's like, "I will come back and personally beat you with my belt." And
Was it Ryan or was it?
No, it was the other guy.
Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah, that guy. And Ryan's like, "Whoa." He's like, whatever his name is, he's like trying to get him to stop, right? He's like, "Whoa."
We're calling them their other character.
I don't remember his actor name. But that was the gist of it, right? Because then she's like, "No, I won't do it again," or whatever. And it's just like, because you called your mom or whatever. And I was like, yeah, those were the days. I mean, I was never hit with a belt, but
I was never hit with a belt.
Spankings. I had spankings.
I was threatened with a belt.
Yeah.
I never did see anybody get hit with a belt.
No.
So. Yeah, the 90s, man.
Yeah, dude.
Corporal punishment. But like, I turned out okay.
It's true. There's all these like.
I don't have like a fear of soap.
Yeah.
Or a fear of belts. Like, I'm not triggered by anything in any way.
Yeah.
I'm not in fear of. I don't know. There's no trauma there.
Yeah, I don't. Would the world be tougher?
My memory
would
is
be tougher if it was like
spotted
that?
at best, so maybe that's my trauma response. My childhood is what? I don't know.
Could be.
How did we get here?
I don't know. This was a tangent. Let's go back to.
It was a big tangent.
It was a big tangent.
It was your Mother's Day on Saturday.
Bar soap. I don't know.
My dirty potty mouth.
Right.
That was okay. That was a Saturday discussion. Anyway, we went to your mother's. We were gonna go to the park, but we didn't because we spent all day out in the front with some of the neighbors, and the kids were having fun. You were doing your typical man gardening jobs that you go full Rain Man over.
I do it for like 3 days, and then I give up, and then I'll get back.
I know, my
I'll probably get
plant's
back into
gonna
it on
die.
Monday.
My plant's gonna
Your
die.
tree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Along with the other tree.
No, I'll do it
The other plant I got for Mother's Day bit the big one on Sunday because it was outside in the wind, and it toppled over. Yeah, Sunday was a day.
Yeah.
I don't like to do that. I don't like to be upset about, especially because I don't like all the fuss or muss or coconuts over me. Like, Mother's Day was never a big thing for me. But then I was a little bummed to not, like, get a nice, like, we eventually did get a family photo or like a kid photo.
Yeah.
But I had to go like frame by frame in the live photos that you took.
Yeah, I know.
And like I caught an okay one. Like, but that's fine. Like, life isn't perfect. I can't expect a perfect photo, especially with an 18-month-old.
It's true, yeah.
But yeah, I was a little sour that day. And I just wanted it to be over. But then I didn't want it to be over because then it meant it was Monday. And I'd have to
that's true.
get back to the grind of school drop-off and shit. And then somehow you bamboozled me into a picnic.
Yeah, it wasn't even for... It was my mom invited us, and we weren't invited.
We weren't officially invited.
We weren't
Your
officially
mother invited us.
My mom invited us because
but it
she
wasn't
just wants...
about the people who organized it.
Yeah.
Or was it from the people who organized it, who we haven't really spoken to friendly. Like, we're... Obviously, they're your family. But we're cordial.
Yeah.
Polite. But we haven't been friendly in 6 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. I know.
Like, we used to always have fun and laughs at,
like,
the kid table.
Yeah. Well, because they never really come out to anything anymore. Like...
There's a lot
when
of
I was
us.
when I was a little, like, all the cousins would come out to every single event, and now everyone's older. I mean, granted, there's a couple that live, well, I mean, one lives nearby in Airdrie now, and then the others live in Lethbridge, and it's, it's far away, but no one comes out. Like, anytime there's like a family, you'll get like one or two of the cousins. Like, I have a big family of cousins, but
we make a hard effort to go everywhere.
Yeah.
Sometimes to our detriment. It killed our van last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel bad about that because I know my mom invited us thinking...
Well, I wanted
she just
you
wanted
to
to see the kids again.
I
and
wanted
my grandpa
you to spend
was
the
there
day with your mom, and to see your grandpa, who's 98 this year. So, yeah, I understood that.
Mm-hmm.
But you walk up, and nobody says hello to you.
No.
And you were asked to bring food, and then we couldn't find said food.
I was so mad.
It was all sold out.
I was really upset at that text message because, like, I
understood. I wanted to take something anyway.
I know, but like,
because we were going to a picnic that wasn't ours.
Yeah.
I was just gonna bring like fruit or something to like just nibble on, but they wanted a fucking full chicken.
They want a full rotisserie chicken.
Luckily,
thank God there were none. They were $18 anyway. I looked at the price tag. It was $18 for rotisserie chicken. I was like, holy shit! And then they wanted like a salad or something.
But then
salad is insanely expensive nowadays.
Okay, so then you informed your mom, Leslie, that we couldn't find a chicken.
Yeah.
We were already late because Reagan had slept.
Yeah.
So we wanted to get going, and then your mom was like, "You don't need any more chicken. Like, why are you getting a chicken?"
So much chicken there.
Your mom took a whole chicken home.
Yeah.
It was very odd. It was a very odd day.
I don't know.
And then I was physically accosted.
Yeah.
I have a sizable wound on the back of my knee due to a dog leash. The dog wrapped around my legs and continued to run, cutting into my leg with its leash. I was holding Reagan, our youngest, whilst also being 6 months pregnant. And nobody batted an eye.
I started walking towards you and started to kind of...
Slowly.
Hey.
I
was.
Let's talk. Okay, are we going to get nitty gritty and have fucking full on fisticuffs on podcast today?
Between me and you?
Yeah.
Sure.
At the pace you were walking, I was already being undone.
Yeah.
By the time you got to me.
Well, because it wasn't until you looked at me and you were like, "Wow, wow, wow," and that's when I was like,
That's
when I went faster because you were. I didn't know you were getting hurt.
I was shocked that nobody made any effort to help me. And like I sit here even now, almost a week later, trying to figure out if I could have done, like if the person holding the dog thought, this is a family dog. They know me, these people. If I could have moved forward, but it would have just followed me because it was right up against my leg, even when it was gunning for this other dog.
Yeah.
And then it cut in front of me.
Yeah.
And I was in a panic because I had Reagan.
Yeah.
And there were 6 other people or 5 other people at least. Because I don't know where your mom was at that point. Just standing there. And then the dog is running in this direction behind me towards the person who's holding the leash. I now have a 6-inch scratch on where my knee bends. Whoa. Where my knee bends. So now anytime I bend, it rips. So that's fun. It's in a great spot. And it burns like hell. It burned like hellfire after the fact. Now nobody made a stink. So then here's some childhood trauma, shut down and don't make a fuss. And I just internalize the god-awful pain I'm in and the panic I'm in that I'm going to either fall and hit my head on the concrete that was behind me, or I'm going to drop Reagan on the concrete or somewhere else. And nobody said anything. And then there was not even an apology.
Nope.
It just, it was what it was.
Yep.
And we were only there about 45 minutes before they packed up and left.
I
don't even think they ate. If they did eat, I didn't see it. They might have eaten before we got there.
They ate before we got there.
Okay, so that's fine. But it was just, they were there maybe 2 hours. And I was like, I could have stayed home.
I know.
And I wouldn't have a big ass rope burn that is going to be such a terrible scar. And like, I'm always shocked. Every time somebody sees it, they go, "Oh my God." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, right. I got that fucking thing on my leg." Because I forget it's hot and I'm wearing shorts. So it just put me off the day.
I know.
Because then it hurt driving home, pushing the pedal and the brake. And yeah, I just wonder why I go out.
I know.
And it just made me feel like shit.
I know.
For the rest of the day. That was Mother's Day.
Sorry, honey.
2023.
Yeah.
My last Mother's Day as a mother of 3.
Yeah.
We did go to the park after we finally got to the park. I don't know if we talked about how we were supposed to go to the park Saturday, and then it ended up being a fight on Saturday because we didn't go to the park after dinner because it was too late.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And I won't get into that whole fucking argument.
Yeah.
Because that was a whole other anxiety-ridden moment. Up until recently, I've been really in check with my hormonal emotions. But on the way home from the picnic, yeah, I cried.
Mm-hmm.
I cried because it hurt. And I cried because nobody did anything.
Yeah. It's kind of...
I felt really alone.
Yeah. No. It's usually how that happens. Like pregnant.
This is a depressing podcast.
But it's...
This is real life. This is what happens.
Well, yeah, it needs to be said because it's exactly what happens in our life. Because like we're good people. Like we're extremely nice to everybody. Like we would do anything for anyone else. I think we come off like that. I hope that we project ourselves to be that type of person. We always think about karma. I mean,
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
That's a few days later, the whole karma discussion.
Yeah, exactly. But we think of ourselves as really good people, and it's hard because, and like I don't know if it's just we're noticing it more or if it's actually legit because like after COVID, like 2020, people just seemed to, after people were locked down in their house, people really just stopped giving a shit about other people. Like it feels like every single person, there was more nice people before it happened, and now it just seems like there's so much just crap in the world. Yeah. And people seem out for themselves and don't care about anyone else, and it gets hard because there's a lot of,
there's a lot of
friends, family, acquaintances, like people around us that do the same stuff, and we try and be good people, and then things like this happen.
The high road sucks. It's rocky up here.
I know. And then we shut down. And I mean, I get extremely angry because I always think like, why am I nice to people? Like, why do I do the things I do? And I know you probably feel that same way. And
my empathy is lacking.
Yeah.
I keep a lot to myself though.
Yeah.
Because it's none of my business. But yeah, I don't have a lot of sympathy for people anymore. Case in point, somebody else in our family was bitching and moaning because they had to work and then they played sports the following day, but went out to party after work and then bitched and moaned that they were tired. Yeah? Are you sleepy? You sleepy? Right. You're a little tired. You didn't go night-night on time? Shut up. Like, right. And I told him that. And I was like, you're such a puss.
Yeah, I know.
And he was, typical, like, how dare you call me out on my bullshit. I hate when people are like, I'm so tired. Mm-hmm. Are you? Okay, you're totally valid in being tired, but don't complain to me about it because it's probably fixable.
Yep.
I have no empathy for people who complain about something, but they've done nothing.
Yeah.
To better the situation. Case in point, if you're injured, I don't want to hear about it if you haven't gone to the doctor, or you don't ice it, or take any kind of necessary health precautions to alleviate the injury pain.
I was gonna say it's true because you do it to me. You used to care a lot more, like you used to be like very empathetic about it. Like if I hurt myself, you'd be like, oh, okay. And now it's like, now these days you're like, did you ice it? And I'm like, no man, I don't want to ice it. And you're like, I don't fucking care. And you're like, I don't fucking care anymore. I'm like, I fucking know.
Because
I fucking know.
Because you don't do anything to make it better. But you're better now because you know not to complain.
I do not complain to you. You'll ask me though.
Now I sound like a dick.
Even if I don't complain, you'll ask me like, "Did you ice it?" And like, I know what's coming. I'm like no. I was like, and even before you say anything, because you do that exact face, I look at you and go like, I fucking know. I fucking know. But you're not a dick though, because it's true.
It's coming from a place where I lived a lot of my life injured, and I had to do things to heal myself because I had responsibilities. I couldn't rest on my laurels and stay at home and pity myself and not do a bloody thing about it. I had to put my feet in buckets of ice water for 10 minutes, sometimes longer, because it would go numb and I would forget. And I loved it. I loved it. And I hate spraining my ankle. It's awful. And I can't even watch people roll their ankles. Fucking kill me. But putting my foot up on a pillow and sleeping like that, the best sleep I ever had. No, the last time I sprained my ankle 2 years ago, that was the worst sprain I've ever had. But I did the time, right? And then eventually I couldn't continue to keep taking care of myself. But what did I do? I stopped complaining about it. And then people would be like, how's your foot? And I'd be like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't doing anything about it. I couldn't. Anybody who gets injured, what are you doing about it? Then shut up. I hate it. I'm thinking of somebody in particular right now. Shut up then. I don't care. I don't care your back hurts. Good. It probably will continue to hurt because you do nothing to make it better. Do you ice it? Do you put heat on it? Did you take a medication? Did you little rub some A5, 3-5? No, then shut up. I don't want to hear it.
It's not me, by the way.
No, his is his toe.
Oh.
He broke his toe. Ask him, how did you break your toe?
I fell into a manhole. And I caught myself.
We probably shouldn't talk about it because it should have been... There's no safety measure.
Oh, it was WCB though. Oh, I got paid for that. I fell into a
full-blown air cast. He broke his big toe. And
they told me I didn't break it.
6 years later.
Fucking bullshit because it fucking hurts.
Yeah,
it healed wrong,
6 or 7 years later. Yeah, and I broke my ankle and it hurts.
I know. Fucking free healthcare, man. Fucking bullshit.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so I was walking backwards because I was trying to see something and I had a manhole cover open, and the way I fell in, but I caught myself with my foot and it just bent like straight up.
He was home for like 4 days.
Yeah.
In an air cast.
Yeah, I limped over
I had fucked up ankles for many years of my life, and not one time did I earn an air cast that I could walk in. I sprained my ankle one time. I had to walk cockeyed because I couldn't dorsiflex or plantar flex. I had to walk like Igor from Frankenstein and drag my right foot off to the side for 3 months.
Wow.
I didn't break it apparently.
Oh, right. That was
that one. Yeah. The one at the bar.
It's bullshit because it's the same thing that they do with me.
It still hurts. I've been to multiple ultrasounds.
I know.
So I don't know if I don't know anything. Whatever. I'm not a medical doctor. Fine. I didn't break it. All I know is that it was fucked up for months after, and all I got was a week off.
Yeah.
Anyway, now I'm bitching and complaining. Do I do anything about it? No. You did make me go to the doctor the one time after Zoe was born. The conversation of surgery came up, but I can't remember in what context.
I think they said, you'd probably have to get surgery to get it fixed, but...
We live in a house full of stairs, and now I have 3 children. That was back when we had 1 child.
It's true, yeah, I know.
So I just, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, fuck you gonna do?
Yeah, it just hurts when it rains.
Anyway, we should get back to our week because like we have talked about
Everything but the week.
one thing.
Well, and then, so I've had an issue with the van. Simple Jack, we call it, Tropic Thunder. Because it has absolutely nothing in it except for the basic necessities. That or Bruce if you're Zoe. And we got the brakes fixed in November when we got new winter tires, all season tires on it, because they couldn't find winter tires for the age of van we have.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking old as fuck.
It's only 2010, but yeah.
And a Dodge that might as well be 100 years old.
Right.
So anyway, after that, I noticed a funny burning smell on the odd occasion. And then my dad drove it in, what month was it? February. They went to a birthday that we did not go to because of Oakley. If you don't know what happened to Oakley, go to our social medias. And they took Everett with them. So they needed the van because of the car seat. And then he comes home and says, like, you have a funny smell coming from the back brakes. So we took it in to where we got our brakes done and found out that the e-brake was engaged and I didn't know.
Yep.
And it was going to be almost $1,000 to fix it after we had spent $1,600 on the original brakes,
the front brakes, because the
plus
front brakes
the tires
needed done, and then the tires.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so whatever happened between the front brakes and the e-brake weren't simpatico and made the e-brake angry and decided to engage itself. They disengaged it. And I have a vague memory of them saying, don't engage it, which is ironic because I started recently smelling the smell again. Mm-hmm. And I thought, oh, it's obviously become engaged again. I'll just engage it and disengage it. And then it felt like I was towing an 18-wheeler on my way home from school on Monday from drop-off. Julian went to work early because Zoe had this big concert on Monday and wanted to be home for it. He tried fixing it in his like newfangled, I'm an electrician, so I must be the jack of all trades, Jimmy Riggs. And
hey.
He tried to fix it, and then we got
WD-40.
Oh my god! I know
I just coated the shit out of it.
Dust on the driveway. Anyway, it was very rigid. You found the wire, and we decided we were gonna drive to the show, and I threw it into reverse, and it sounded like and felt like somebody was on the brake while I was accelerating in reverse. And I cried.
You cried and left.
Yeah, I just got out.
You cried and got out and you walked off.
I was almost in the middle of the road. I was off the road enough, but I just was overwhelmed. I was so overwhelmed
parking the car.
because I didn't know what to do in that moment. And I was just overwhelmed. I was full of anxiety.
Yeah.
I didn't want to like break the brakes and fly into the car behind us.
Yeah.
Because that was going to be our only saving grace, was hitting whatever was behind us. So, yeah. Anyway. Then that all went down. Dad helped Julian get it home, and you guys Jimmy rigged it during the concert, so you missed some of the concert.
Yeah, which is annoying.
You didn't miss a lot.
Yeah, I know, but still, it's
a really long concert.
And then this stupid thing, and then we tried to phone AMA to get a tow, and they're like, it probably won't be there for like 6 hours. And I told your dad that, and he's like, 6 hours? He's like, holy shit. And then the fun conversation came. So like, my mom pays for AMA membership, and like the only thing I really use for AMA for is because I get like a couple cents off at Shell, which is great. Like I use my card for it. But I have a basic plan, I guess. I don't really know what
Well,
that.
and we get some dealios when we go there for like registration.
It's
and
true.
shit.
Yeah, for sure. So like I appreciate
Being
it. I
members.
appreciate that my mom pays for that, and then so it's a basic plan. I didn't know anything really about it, and
Because
then
you're a fucking adult.
yeah, I know, right?
The irony is, I'm a gold member.
Well, I'm getting into that. So they're like, we
'Cause
can
my
tow
daddy
it.
pays for
Fine.
it.
I was like, well, how much is it? And or they said we can tow it 5 kilometers. Anything after that is $3. $3 a kilometer. And I'm like, because your dad, we tried phoning Self Trail, which is really like a Chrysler dealership, which is really close, like, or Dodge dealership, I guess, which is really
Not
close
close
to here.
enough.
And well, when they
For
told me that, I know when
$3
they
a
told me that, I'm
kilometer.
sitting there going like, how
Sounds like a
far?
900 number.
It's like 20. That's probably like 20K, 15K away. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be expensive. Well, I mean, not really expensive, but it's like this is
On top
money I
of
don't,
what the
yeah,
van
this
was
is
going to
money
be.
I don't want to spend. And then your dad, we couldn't get in. The earliest time we could get was like what next week or something, like next Wednesday was like the earliest time, and I was like, well, that's not good enough because like you can't
family
drive
van.
you can't drive the van, like how are you going to get the kids to school? So then I talked to your dad. Your dad's like, he got tires from this Fountain Tire place that's kind of out of the city, and he really liked them. So he's like, he gives them a call, and they're like, yeah, we can, if you bring it in today, we'll get it. So then I talked to your dad, and I was like, how far do you think that, like without telling him, right? I was like, how far do you think that place is? And he's like, well, I don't know. He's like, why do you want to know that? I was like, well, my membership is 5 kilometers and $3 every kilometer after that. And he looks at me, he's like, this is the first time I ever heard your dad swear. He's like, are you fucking serious? And I was like, yeah,
This
man.
is the first time you've heard my dad swear.
Well, no, but
He's just not as loose with it as I am.
yeah. And he's like, I have like 100 kilometers on mine. And I was like, well, you have like the gold package, man. So anyway, he's like, cancel that. You cancel that. We'll use my own. I'm like, all right. But then we figured we would drive it home and then drive it to the deal. We drive it home, see how it is. It was okay. I mean, you could smell the burning smell. We're like, whatever, we're gonna risk it. It's only like 10 minutes out from where we are. So we drove it there, left it there through the day, and then the next day, that's when I get the invoice. It was like what? It was I think almost $1,600 for the invoice. So whatever, they do the work, and like I was really mad. Like when we came home, I was pissed. I was like,
We looked at new vans.
oh, I was slamming
like,
the doors outside. Like I had sunglasses on. I had tears rolling down my face because I was so mad. And I was like, if anyone comes out, a neighbor comes out, I was like, hey, Julian, how's it going? And like tears running down my face and me slamming car seats out because I was pissed because like a couple months ago, the vehicle that I have was like $4,000 to get everything fixed in it, and then back in February, whenever that was, when we got the front brakes done and the tires done, like that was
November.
That was $1,600, and then there was like the amount of money we spent on this van. So like we bought it used for about like 10 grand, and the amount of money that we've spent on this thing is like
more than I put in my 2 other cars.
Equal or more than what it's worth. And it's getting, I was frustrated. I was at the point because everything was just happening at once, and I was so pissed about it. And then the Fountain Tire place gave us a deal. Like they knocked, well, whatever. It was like $100 off, but like it was
nice.
It was nice because they said it wasn't as hard as they thought it was going to be. It was actually really easy to do the fix.
Simple Jack.
Yeah, Simple Jack coming back out. So, I don't know. I was frustrated.
Well, and then the funny part is that my one windshield wiper hose has become behind the driver. The driver's side of my windshield has become detached.
Yeah.
Just fucking, ugh. It's trying to take me out. Because, like, the guy at the Fountain Tire place was like, oh, the brakes should work great now. And I was like, the brakes worked too well.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Too well, I know.
I could let my foot off the accelerator, and I came to a dead stop.
Yeah. Yeah, it was not.
Things were bad.
I know.
Anyway, that got fixed. Wednesday was uneventful. Oh, the smoke rolled in.
The smoke rolled in. I was gonna say the smoke.
The smoke rolled in, and then it looked like a scene from The Last of Us, which was filmed here. It was terrifying.
Yeah, it was apocalyptic. So
yellow.
I work downtown right now, and I'm on the 27th floor of like a 28-story building, and it was nuts to see. It was like a yellow, like through the day. It was like the morning was like kind of smoky when I went to work.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I guess the smoke's rolling. And then the news, they're like, yeah, there's a north wind. It's coming in, kind of thing. Like you're gonna get a lot of smoke. It was coming in
hard.
Yeah.
It was really windy that day too.
And then when I was working, I was looking out the window.
Air quality was like 10 or something like that.
It was over 10. It was 11 plus.
Yeah.
11 plus. Someone did I show you that picture? So this guy I used to go to school with, Andrew Peel. He posted a picture. Someone did the measurement for it of like the particle.
I like how you had to confirm who it was. I don't care. Semantics.
Because I thought it was your brother. The reason I'm saying that is because I was trying to show the guy I work with, and I thought it was from your brother because it was Andrew. And I searched Andrew on Facebook, and I was like looking through like his most recent posts. I was like, oh, he didn't post this. I was like, oh, it was Andrew Peel. So anyway,
no, he had other depressing news.
Yeah. So then, they took a measurement. And it was like, I don't know what the measurement rating, like what it was, like what the parts or whatever was, but it was like 800 or something. And like normal, like toxic, like hazardous level is 200 plus.
Wow.
We were in the 600s.
Wow.
That's how bad it was here. Like, and I remember.
We're 2 hours away from the nearest fire.
Yeah. So I was seeing buildings kind of start to envelop in smoke, like there was just like it looked like fog. And then I remember like sometime during the day, just like an orange, like
that's what was really gross.
An orange color started
like
coming in, and I was like,
yeah, it looked like the end of a cigarette filter.
Yeah,
that
for
yellow.
Sure. Yeah, I know.
And it smelled like there was a campfire in our backyard.
Yeah.
My dad took Zoe to school Tuesday, so I didn't really have to be out in it much on Tuesday. I did have to go pick her up, but it kind of cleared by the afternoon. Morning it was really gross. And like I'm in the population of people who like really shouldn't be outside. I'm always pregnant.
I know.
I'm always big pregnant when forest fires hit. 3 out of the 5 pregnancies I've had, but 3 out of the 4 children, I've been big pregnant during smoke. Like, anyway, sorry everybody. I apparently start forest fires during my pregnancies.
Right.
That's finally cleared up 4 days later.
Yeah, it's starting to go away.
The fires are still going though, and it's still really scary. And they just, like, God, I hate the summer, man. It stunk so bad in the house, too, so that I lit a fall candle, and I've never lit a match so fucking hard and angry. I was like, it's fall! And I lit a fall candle, and I was like, it's fall today. I was like, it's gonna smell delicious in here. Because summer blows. I hate the fucking summer.
Yeah, man.
It's always bad. BC was on fire and then flooded in the fall.
Yeah, apparently like Saskatchewan right now is on fire. BC's on fire. Like it's insane right now. Remember?
Because it was really dry. It was a really dry fall, and then we didn't have a bunch of snow, like a super big ton of snow, a lot.
Yeah.
Like over and over again. So the ground is dry.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, I can't believe BC's on fire. Like, how much more can it burn? Like, there can't be anything left.
So, I know, right? Like, 2 years ago, we went to Infamy, right? And I remember, like, we were standing, and, like, it made for a really cool photo. Like, when I took the photo of Everett, like, standing on, like, the beach, because, like, it was just smoke in the background. Like, it looked like fog, but then you could see, like, really thick smoke over the hill, because, like, there was a fire, like, on the other side of the hill, basically. Like, we were
on the other side of the mountain.
So close to that. So that was a fun vacation, because as soon as we got into BC, like it was like crystal clear skies, and we got into BC like closer to Invermere, it was like smoky for like the entire time we were there for like that week.
Yeah.
Because the forest fires are raging like all around us. But I don't know. Hopefully it goes away sometime soon. Like,
we need a big dump of rain.
Yeah. Like,
we need a big dump of rain anyway. Like, we didn't get any rain in April, really.
Yeah.
Like, there was no rain in April. Everything needs water.
Well,
it's going to be a shitty, like, harvest.
Yeah.
Because of all the dry.
It's funny because, like...
God damn it. I'm so tired, man. I just...
The guy I'm working with, he's like... They put weapons on drones. Can't they just, like, arm them with, like, hoses and water and stuff and just, like, fly those things in and, like, water bomb stuff? And I was like, that's not a bad idea. And he's like, I'm going to patent that.
A flying water gun?
It's not going to be, like, a little pew-pew. I mean, like, have you seen drones these days? Some of them are huge.
Where would I have seen a drone?
I don't know. Just on videos and shit.
No.
But, like, or he's like, what if we just, like, took out the components of, like, a nuke and did, like, a water nuke? It's like, sure, man. Anyway, this is
interesting.
This is what he talks about.
Great. But yeah, it's not even the end of the week. We had a hard time getting groceries.
Yeah, we had someone else's order. I don't even know what the fuck happened.
We had pieces of an order that weren't ours. It was so stupid. I'm just so over. And like, by the end of the week anyway, I don't know what it is about this pregnancy. I feel like I've been hit by a bus. Fun fact, apparently, is it has to be true because she is a scientist. This creator on TikTok said that your body can put out 2.5. Oh, I should have really paid attention to the video. Anyway,
yeah, you showed it to me. I don't remember what the measurement was.
It said something about every day you're pregnant is like running a marathon every day. There's a scientific term. I don't know. It's basically like your body can do so much before it physically gives out. At 2.5, whatever the term is. I'm sure there's some people who know what I'm talking about. And pregnancy is at 2.2. Just pregnancy. Add on top of if you don't get to lay down. If you have kids who are up your nose after stuff. Like I have to hit the 2.5. And like I feel like I've hit it. Yeah. I don't know if it's like a placebo effect, like I saw that video and went yeah. Yes.
That is me.
Yeah.
That's me in a nutshell.
But then my sciatic nerve.
Yeah.
Okay, so my sciatic nerve always acts up, but it usually only acts up when I take a hard jog to the right. It's always my right ass cheek. This one hurts if I'm in motion. Mm-hmm. So I walk funny now because I can't lift my foot up. Why do I feel like we talked about this last week?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
I don't remember what we talk about on podcast anymore. We talk about like, what are we going to talk about on podcast? And I'm like,
well, I edit them. So like
what have we talked about on podcast? I don't fucking know. I don't even know a conversation anymore. I don't know what, I don't want to repeat her like over and over again. That would be fucking annoying. Well, and because I'm dumb now, like I physically and mentally am just
pregnancy brain.
Yeah. I'm just, I don't know. I don't know what we talked about. I don't even know what we talked about this time.
Well, it's funny because we had a topic for tonight and we're like, let's start off the weekly updates. And it's like 54 minutes in.
Well, we didn't know how shitty our week was.
We've done our weekly. Yeah. And that's it. So that's what this is going to be about. The week from hell. This is our shit week. There's more that happened though. Kate's brother's dog passed away, so that was also shitty. So we feel bad for them because that sucks.
Because we lost our dog not 2 months ago.
Yeah. And
so like my parents,
because his was hard too, right?
Yeah. My parents were like, my dad, my mom was like, well, I wasn't going to tell you, but then I couldn't not. Mm-hmm. I had to tell somebody, and I was like, okay. And then my dad was upset because they weren't going to tell me because of how hard I've taken Oakley passing away. But like they've done this my whole life. They've always sheltered me from shit because I'm the youngest. Like I can't handle it. But I've told them multiple times. I'm very sad for my brother. It's awful. I'm not as sad as I would have been. Because I no longer have the capacity to hurt for dogs. Oh. Like, that sounds weird. I don't really know how to explain. Like, now, I used to, anytime I saw a dog, I'd be like, ooh, puppy. But now, anytime I see a dog, I'm like, oh.
It's numb. It's being numb.
There's a puppy at school pickup. Invokes no feelings for me whatsoever. I feel awful for them. Theirs was quick. We were given false hope. We had him for 2 weeks. We were told we would have 2 years with him.
And we've never really, I mean, you said go to the socials, but we've never actually told anybody. We've never done a post or a video of like how it actually happened.
Well, because I never really wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
Especially like right after, because Megan, my sister-in-law, she asked if I wanted to talk about it. And I was like, when have I ever talked about anything really hard?
Yeah.
I internalize everything and I shut down and then I end up like this. Because I looked at my aunt's face when I was like, I don't have any emotion. Even now, sitting here, I don't. She looked sad for me. Because it'll probably be many, 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 many years if we even ever consider to get a dog by choice. If somebody showed up to our door today and said, I need you to take this dog. Yeah, sure. And we'd probably embrace him. And it probably wouldn't be as difficult as I think it would be. But even now, I don't want to risk that dog not feeling the love I had for Oakley because he's not Oakley.
I know.
Like, he was our baby. He was around before Zoe. He lived with us in the basement of my parents' house. He was it. And he never really got over babies being brought home.
Yeah, it's true.
The only kid he liked was Reagan.
Yeah.
The other two he just ignored.
Yeah, that's true.
Reagan he actually like paid attention to and like sniffed.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, the Oakley thing put me off.
Yeah.
Dogs. And I've lost dogs before. I've lost 3 other dogs. You've lost pets, but they weren't your pets. They were your mom's.
Well, Schopenhauer? Was that Schopenhauer? That was a tough one.
Really? Well, that he was right. He was flattened by a pancake.
No, he was hit by. Did I ever tell you about that story?
Is he the one that? Like tried to crawl home? Yeah. Ugh.
My mom found her.
Oh, your poor mother.
My mom found her outside because like she didn't come home because it was an outdoor cat, which like is illegal now, but
obviously
it was an outdoor cat, and it was a she, right? Yeah, she usually came home at nighttime when my mom would call for her, and she never did, and then my mom found her the next day, and the vet thinks that she was hit by a car, or I don't know, because the way like the back, remember my mom's backyard, like I can't see her. How would she get back there? I don't think it was hit by a car. Like, I think it must have got hit by something, or it fell off the fence and didn't land on its feet like normal cats do. Like, I don't know, something happened. It wasn't a car, because it couldn't have. There's no way. Anyway, her back legs, her spine was basically broken. Her back legs weren't working, so we took it to the vet, and the vet basically said like
Yeah.
there's nothing you can do. Like it's either
It's a quality of life thing
yeah,
too.
it's a quality of life. Like there's nothing we can do. So
It's a
that
cat.
was hard.
It was
because
an
that
outside cat.
When I saw it, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I was young, like
Yeah.
I think I was, because we were in Woodlands.
I've never had like
I
a
don't know.
peaceful passing
Yeah.
of an animal.
And
My
it's
first
so
dog had
fucked up, I know, yeah.
Casey had a stroke. I wasn't home for that though.
Yeah.
But that's why I thought Oakley was having a stroke, because he was acting weird when I came home from drop off or from pickup one day.
Yeah.
And
So
it ended
Oakley
up being seizures.
Yeah, Oakley had, the vet thinks it was a brain tumor. So Oakley was having seizures. For all of a sudden, he had quite a bit of seizures. We took him in. They gave him medicine, anti-seizure medicine, and then it didn't work. And then
So another doctor gave him steroids.
they tried him on steroids because
Which helps.
he said it could be a brain tumor. This could give him longevity of life, but then again,
a quality of life, because the anti-seizure medication had a mild sedative effect.
it
So
made
he
him
basically slept all day.
he was a shell of himself. Like
was terrible.
After that happened, I felt so bad for him because it wasn't quality of life. And then when they gave him
was
the
a bad 2
steroids,
weeks.
it was better. He kind of
But his
perked up a little
food was
bit.
insatiable. He was hungry.
Yeah.
And we couldn't keep him fed to the point where he would eat shit.
Yeah. And then he had
And then he had more seizures. And
he had basically a seizure that lasted a long time, and they kind of said,
he's done.
because it's the quality of life. They're like, it was like over 20
Well, they
minutes.
thought he
If
was
it was
brain
over
dead.
20 minutes, and they said,
Because his legs weren't working after
yeah,
that.
they're
And
like,
we
he-
knew his legs weren't working because they would turn in.
yeah.
That was a shitty day.
Anyway, that was what happened to Oakley. We've never really said anything to any. We haven't said anything on the socials about how it happened. Just people know that he has passed away.
And that is the only thing that invokes any emotion.
Yep. I know.
Everything else is... nothing.
Yeah.
Although we did see a dog today at the school, and I was like, oh, it was like my
little
first
puppy,
audible.
yeah.
It was the first audible noise I had made towards a dog.
That's true.
All the other dogs, I'm like, eh.
Anyway.
Yeah. Sorry for the awfully depressing podcast, you guys.
You're going to get this. We're always going to have one.
Yeah. Well, like, it's just been one of those weeks, and as authentic as it is, this is what life was this week.
And that's...
But, I mean, what do we have coming up this coming weeks? We have our 16-year anniversary.
I know.
So we'll probably do, like, some, like, fun recaps of our relationship. Shit we remember.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yo, we should play a game.
I thought
Like
about that. When we were thinking of ideas earlier, I was like, I thought about, like, it'd be fun to do, like, a game on podcast. We should do, like, a fun...
Like a newlywed game kind
man.
of thing.
Yeah, totes,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, we should definitely look
Okay.
into that. Okay, so that'll be happening the June 5th episode.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken on the dates. If I am, June 4th. It's June 4th because June 3rd is a Saturday.
Okay.
So, oh, that's nice. Our anniversary is on Friday.
Oh, good.
Oh, well. Anyway, so that's coming up, and then obviously we'll keep you updated on pregnancy, and then anything else that, sorry, I have the hiccups now, goes on in our day-to-day. And if you have any, like, questions for us on parenting or relationship or pregnancy, I will be asking Julian at some point what it's like to have me around as a pregnant lady. And he has to be overly honest. So that'll be coming up in the next couple of weeks.
That reminds me, I gotta post that one video that I took of you today.
Which one? You took 2 of me.
What did you...
Well, let's...
Anyway.
That'll
you
all come
said
up.
something, and it was 2 words that should have never been put together. It was like robot chubby, and I was like, what did you just say?
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, dear.
Oh, they say Robot Chubby in there.
Yeah, it's the bad guy. The bad guy robots say Bill and Ted's girlfriends give me full-on robot chubbies.
Okay.
Well, and it's one of my favorite lines.
I thought you just made that up. You were eating a chocolate bar, and you're like, "This gives me a full-on robot chubby," and I was like, "What did you just?"
I have so few things that give me joy, because Mom was up my ass about coffee. Anyway, so head to Instagram, head to TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, even search "Surviving Gingers." You'll find our ugly mugs.
If you're watching us on YouTube, it's on the banner. Like if you look at the banner,
there's a link. Description.
There's a link there. It'll take you to our beacons, and our beacons has like everything. Like you can listen to the podcast, Spotify, Apple, all that stuff. Our Instagram, TikTok, everything's there. So hit that link.
Again, do whatever you do to podcasts, because we still don't fucking know if you like it.
This is just gonna be your thing.
Do you share it? Whatever you do. Anyway, we also want to hear from you, so come onto the socials and ask us questions and share your stories about stuff. We can definitely talk about it on here. I'd like to talk about current stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There was something else I was going to mention about pregnancy, but I'll try and remember. But it's probably not going to happen. What are you going to do? Yeah, and hopefully, I don't know. I don't even know what I was going with that. Hopefully what?
Hopefully, I don't know.
Hopefully you have a great week.
Yeah. Stay classy, San Diego.
Yeah. What else does he say? Anyway, yeah, have a good week. We'll talk to you next time or see you next time. I don't fucking know how you end these. Episode 5. Fuck.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for
listening. Do what you do on podcast stuff.
Do what you do on podcast.
We'll see you next week.
Later.